Hey guys, welcome back to Resin Bell. This month on Resin Bell, we're going to be doing 30 pours in 30 days. Oh my gosh. A resin on a resin channel? Shocking. I know, right? So we're going to be working with UV resin, epoxy resin. We're going to be doing dirty pours, coasters, jewelry, trays, all kinds of different things. So it's going to get wild. So I hope you guys stay tuned. Okay, so I picked up this mold. It's by Mod Podge, and I picked it up at Walmart. I will see if I can find it on Amazon. I will link it in the description box below. But I haven't tried any of the Mod Podge ones, and they seem like they're pretty good, strong molds. So we're going to try out this one, and I think I'm going to do like a mixed media paper collage in resin. And I think that'll be fun. I'm kind of in my Halloween kick, so I'm probably going to do a Halloween theme. So stay tuned. Okay, so I cured this on one side, and look how cool it looks, you guys. I love it. And then I flipped it over and I cured it on this side for a couple of minutes and a couple of minutes on this side, so to make sure that it is fully cured. So the next thing I want to do is I picked up these stickers from Simon Says Stamp by Tim Holtz Ideology, and it has all these kind of spooky, kind of retro. It's got words, and then it has like these images and stuff. So I'm just going to do a little collage with these stickers, and then we'll seal it with some glue. So I cut some of the different things out and put them together, and now I'm just going to put them in. Okay, so then I cut out some of the words and added them. I put October 13th because that's my birthday. And treacherously supplied by the imagination. Sometimes I feel that way with an ADHD brain, you know. You feel like it's just running away with you all the time. Anyway, so yeah, that kind of is me. Alright, so I am going to seal this with some Mod Podge. I usually use Aleene's Tacky Glue. I prefer it because it's a thick glue and it works very well for sealing paper in resin, and I have rarely had any problems with pinholes getting dark in my paper, which is common if you're not careful to seal your paper very well. But I think just for this, I think this is going to be fine, and I do want to show you that you can use other white glues that dry clear. You just have to be careful with the Mod Podge because it has a high water content, and it can not seal completely. It has a tendency to have like little bubbles in it, and the bubbles will pop, and then you'll have a little spot where the resin can seep in. But for doing UV resin, it's not going to set as long, so it's not as important, because you're going to seal this, let it dry, and you're going to put the UV resin over the top, and you're going to cure it almost immediately. So it's not going to set and allow the resin to soak in. Okay, so I've just got a little bit of the Mod Podge, and you can use matte Mod Podge, you can use, you know, regular Mod Podge, whatever works for you is going to be fine. And I'm just really trying to be careful that I completely encase the paper and the stickers with the Mod Podge. All the sides get Mod Podge, and the top. Just want to make sure there's nowhere for resin to seep in and cause a dark spot. I'm just going to let that dry. Alright, so now that that is dry, I'm going to put my last layer of UV resin. Keep in mind that when you put a layer of UV resin down and you cure it, that it will shrink, so you will have some little excess areas around the edge that you may have to touch up after you pull it from the mold. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you something that can happen. I promised I would show you my mistakes. So if you can see that bubble right there, that wasn't in there when I first started, and neither were those other ones. So what has happened here is the top layer of UV resin has gotten super hot because I did a very thick pour. What I should have done is done a thin pour and cured it, and then done the rest and cured it. Don't put too many layers over your glue because the glue gets hot, and then the air from the glue expands and it comes out, and you can kind of see how it's tried to separate in different areas, and this one came up. So just keep that in mind. So if you have that happen, let's pull this out of the mold here. And you can see I've got some liquid in there. That is the UV resin not cured and trying to separate. So you gotta make sure it's cured all the way, but I noticed that it was developing bubbles, and so I didn't want to keep curing it because, yeah. Well, that kind of helped a little bit. I kind of was able to move them around some so that they're not super together there. So I may try to squeeze that and cure it some more. But anyway, so you can kind of see what you can get. You can see the bubble from there. But it's kind of a fun technique to try to do. Just make sure that your glue is completely dry. I don't think mine was. I think there was a little bit of undried glue underneath the paper, and then also, you know, the UV resin was too thick. So keep that in mind when you're trying to do this. I'm going to try to cure this while adding a little pressure so that those bubbles will kind of stay in the center. Once it's completely cured, I can drill down to that hole, fill it carefully, and then cure it, and then do a top coat, and then that should clear up that bubble. But we're gonna try that and see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, I just drilled a hole down, and I drilled a hole down here. And you want to drill it just to the bottom of the drip. You can see just until that drip is completely open. I'm not going to worry about these little ones here because those don't really bother me too much. But so then what you want to do, okay, so I'm trying to very carefully and slowly allow that UV resin to drip down one side of the hole I drilled. If you try to just fill it up real quick, you're going to trap bubbles down in the bottom. So you want to be careful about that. So I'm just very carefully trying to slowly fill that hole kind of from the bottom up rather than just all at once. So you can see at this point it's almost invisible, like it's almost disappeared completely on its own. Now I just repeated the same thing for the other hole. I just decided to go ahead and add the top coat while those are still wet before curing them, and that really kind of worked out well and just kind of all runs together and looks really good. Okay, so as you can see, that giant bubble is gone and the one in the corner is gone. So, you know, you can repair those bubbles. Now I have that little one there still. As you can see, it's not super deep, like it's just kind of surface. But yeah, I could always drill that out. I could even drill those two out if I wanted to, but they're not very big. They're just kind of flat, and I kind of like the texture that it provides. But you know, I just wanted to show you that, you know, I do make mistakes, and sometimes stuff doesn't turn out quite the way I wanted it to, and you can fix big bubbles in UV resin or in epoxy resin. I like how it turned out. I'm going to put that on my keychain. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see the rest of the videos in the 30 Pours in 30 Days series, check the link in the description box below to the playlist, as well as other affiliate links that do support this channel. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!